Hello everyone, off the back of our PMR run in the GT3 Aston Martin, we thought we'd give it a go in iRacing as a comparison. So let's jump in. We're firing up the car here. We managed to qualify last on the grid. The lead guys were doing 1:14s, which was crazy fast compared to what we had in PMR, where they were, I think it was about a 1:16, maybe high 1:15s. So we get a terrible start. I've not been able to get off the start very well with these, but bearing in mind how fast these guys were, I was fully expecting to not do very well in this race. But we had a good start there. We get around the first corner, passing a few cars. We did touch one, but didn't get any incident points. We've got 0x, which means it was a very light tap. Now it's a case of just battling with them, really. And at this point, I was quite pleased with how they were fighting with me. Felt very similar to PMR since the patch, I might add. But I will also say that obviously many people aren't using iRacing to race against the AI. It's not really what iRacing was designed for, but now I clipped the curb here and just touched that red car again. It was I think a 0x, maybe a 1x. So very light contact, and we're running up alongside this Lamborghini here. But we've also made up a lot of places already. I think we started on 26th on the grid and we're already up to 19th, so a good first lap. I have to say, visually, the surroundings of the track and everything, maybe not as well polished, not as many trees. The lighting's beautiful, of course, but as we come around this final corner, I was starting to bide my time. I was like, I'm not going to push this too much. Now you can see my lap time in the top corner. You can't see the other cars' lap times, but they were running like 5 or 6 seconds slower than they were in qualifying. So we did I think our best lap was a 1:18. Now I clatter that car. That was my biggest mistake of the whole race, I think. We got a 4x for that, so we're on 5 incident points already. So I just decide it's time to calm down a little bit. But as I do that, app opens there, and both of those cars go backwards incredibly quickly. And this is something I started to spot as I went through the race, and it's because it has adaptive AI, but actually I think it's too strong. So basically, as the race goes on, it adapts to your speed, but it didn't adapt to my speed. So all of a sudden, and you'll see it over the next few laps, everybody got incredibly easy to pass and started going a lot slower. And there's a few instances, which we'll see over the coming laps, where it was just kind of ridiculously slow. Like, embarrassingly slow, some of these cars. So, like, you know, being able to dive up the inside there was cool. And they do position themselves well. They tend to jump out of the way just a little bit sometimes. But double overtake there. And this is what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, these guys doing 1:14s in qualifying and 1:15s in qualifying, and I couldn't get anywhere near them, are all of a sudden rolling around in the late 1:19s, 1:20s, and I'm just driving past them incredibly easily. So the balance is really off between qualifying and the race. I didn't even have a very good race, to be honest. It was a lot more scrappy than my PMR race. It's fair to say in iRacing, I think the cars are definitely a little bit harder to handle. Does take a little bit longer to master them, and there's a little bit more, I guess, variance from lap to lap. So certainly lines I was picking and lines I was choosing, I wasn't doing it as consistently as I was in PMR. I think PMR is maybe slightly more forgiving, which I know people are saying it's more SimCady. I don't think it is SimCady. I do think it's quite a good simulator experience, but certainly in iRacing it was another level of concentration that I had to put on. But even then, as we come around this corner again, I'm starting to pick cars off with ease, which is really, really interesting. And it took something away from it. PMR was good because I felt like I was racing with people of a level comparable to me, but look at this. The way I caught up to them and past them was just too easy. So I am going to go back in. I'm going to look at the adaptive AI and maybe turn that off and see what happens and do another test. It's a nice idea. The adaptive AI is a nice idea. See somebody going off there as well. I like the fact that they make mistakes in iRacing. Certainly more than PMR, they don't seem to deviate from being able to just lap at speed the whole time. So there's a few instances in the race, few yellow flags that we had to avoid. But in general, I had a lot of fun passing them, but I think it would get predictably easy each time. Now there's some people that want to log in and just race around the track and win every time, which is totally fine, and I get that. If you've only got a short amount of time and you want to enjoy yourself, I get that. For me, the challenge of competing is really high, so I don't want it to be too easy, and I'm sure with a little bit of adaptation, a bit of tweaking with these AI settings, I could get these cars a little bit more challenging, no question about that. And there's still elements when they do their own thing, like the Corvette pulling out there and me having to back off because there's no space. So you can't ram raid your way through this, because again, incident points are a thing that you don't want to be racking up. I always see this as well as a bit of a training ground for when I get to do the online races, and to be honest, I've been out of iRacing for so long that I don't have the confidence to fire up an online game yet, but I will, absolutely. I just need to find a track and a car combo that gives me confidence and that I know, and then I'll be diving in and giving it a go with an online race. I really want to get my licenses up, and I really want to get my I rating and my safety rating up. So here we go. We've got this Acura, we've got this Corvette, and I think it's a Merc ahead of them, but I chased these guys for a while. This is what I mean, they're starting to pull away here on the straights. I don't think the Aston's particularly quick compared to some of these cars, but I was really making up a lot of time in the corners. I kind of bully myself past the Acura there as well, which was a bit naughty. 0 incident points though, so it couldn't have been that bad. And then straight away I'm on the Corvette, but my drive out of corners was phenomenal. My cornering was phenomenal, and I also didn't realise at this point, I only spotted it in the replay after the race, I'd lost a big chunk of my bumper at this point, so my downforce should have been really all over the place, but it didn't really affect my handling. So we just get the hammer down now and we just start reeling in these cars. So I'm going to stop talking for a little minute and you can listen to the noise. Again, I think the sound is better in PMR2, but I'll let you decide. Now you can see the speed that I've caught up with these guys ahead of me here. Again, as we were talking about the AI before, and then I'm literally driving past them like they're not there. Like I said, it felt a bit easy that. But look at my lap time as well. The session best here, I'm a 118.4. I can do 16.5s on PMR, same track. I don't know what the real life GT3 Aston Martin time is on this track, if there even is one, if they've ever raced on. So it's interesting that I can lap a bit faster in PMR, and I had more competitive AI, or kind of more on par AI with me, and then in here the guys are running slower in the race, but incredibly fast in qualifying. So I'd love to see that balanced out a little bit more. But again, this was just a bit of an experiment. I thought, why not do this after I did it in PMR, just to see what it was like. The car, definitely, as I said already earlier on, way harder to handle. You had to have your wits about you a lot more, certainly in the corners. Trail braking is better. The car doesn't slide as much. You can kind of use your brake to help you get around the corners. I think probably the best way I can describe it, everything is just a little bit more polished and honed, and you can tell there's years of experience of refining and tweaking iRacing. Obviously it's been out since I think 2008 now, so it is a very, very well evolved game, whereas PMR's just coming out of the starting blocks and obviously needs a little bit of a helping hand to get it moved forward. But as we push on here, I think we've got a bit of a chase now to the car in front, so we'll skip forward a little bit, as you've seen me go around the track a fair few times now. I'm a pretty fast lap here until I overcook it there as well. So yes, we will be back in a little minute. So I think it's well worth pointing out how scrappy the start of this lap is, yet we still seem to be gaining incredibly quickly on the car in front. That doesn't feel right, but we'll take it at this point in the race. We are already in second place, so we've gone from 26th right the way through to second. I mean, it's possible. We know it's possible in races for people to do that. But I think the AI has definitely helped me in this instance, so I'm definitely going to go in and have a look. I kind of set them roughly the same percentage. I think it was about 75% in PMR. Went for the same in here, but obviously ticked the adaptive AI as well, so I'd be really interested to see if I unticked the adaptive AI and left them at 75%, whether or not they'd start lapping in the 115s or the 116s. So yeah, another good test for me to do, and actually another excuse to jump into iRacing, because it is such a immersive game. Like I said, the sounds just don't feel as, the engine note didn't feel as loud. The kind of in-car noises, the rattles and the squeaks aren't as pronounced as they are in PMR. Obviously you've got the gravel on the track, which is really good and kicks up all over the place, and you get debris flags and everything, so there's tons of beautiful detail, and the cars, everything's pin sharp. Frame rate wise, I think I was running, this is a 32 car, everything maxed out on the graphics, and I was obviously recording in OBS at 4K as well, so I think I was getting about 120 FPS. Doing the same in PMR, I was sitting around about 90 FPS, but consistently both of them sat. In fact, I have iRacing capped at 120 FPS, and PMR I have uncapped, but it was sitting around about 90, but pretty comfortably at 90. So there we go, over the finish line. Nice race again. Ironically, we finished second again, just like we did in the PMR race, right up behind the leader. And I think if I'd had a cleaner last couple of laps, we would have absolutely caught and passed for the win. But just a really good to do, and I have to say, the sim racing bug has well and truly grabbed me by the scruff of the neck again, so absolutely it's distracting me a little bit from the Farming Simulator channel, but you know, I've always been a person that I play the games that I want to because I want to have fun, not because I want to make content, so you get the benefit of me on this channel for a little bit. But there we go, a fun little race around Canadian Tyres Motorsport Park. This GT3 Aston, I need to kind of get a little bit more creative with my car choices now, but I just really enjoyed this one. The new Porsche coming out for iRacing with the next patch, which will be exciting, so looking forward to seeing that. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments, I know there's only a few of you watching this channel at the moment, but I would love to hear what you would like to see me driving, and how you'd like to see me kind of do content for this channel. I got a couple of comments that they like the voiceover afterwards, so I've done that again. But let me know. I'd love to hear what you think. You know, the opportunity to shape this channel, because it is very new and in its infancy, so I'd love to hear from you. Okay, on that note, I'm going into the pits, and I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye for now.